Hello everyone, I Nirmala Rawat welcome you to my YouTube channel. Chapter 11 Soma's Tale Part.1. I entered a deep sleep that night and didn't awaken until the morning sun poured in through the small window in our hut. My mother was already dressed and ready to go. You have slept so long, Anusuya, she said. You needed the rest from our long journey, so I didn't wake you. But I'm afraid we missed the morning meal at the hermitage. The hermitage only served 2 meals a day, one in early morning and the second in the early evening. That meant we would have to wait quite a long time before eating. I can do without, Ma. Let us go quickly to Soma. Within a short time, we were on our way. The heat of the day was already upon us, and the forest cover gave us only modest relief. When we arrived and pushed open the door, we were surprised to find Soma's room empty. My mother and I looked at one another, wondering where she could have gone. Within a few minutes, we heard her cheerful voice from outside. I have been waiting for you. Come around the back. I have fixed a meal for you. I would not want you to go the whole day without eating. Mata would not approve of that. Soma, we did not want you to fuss over us, my mother protested. And in this heat? You do not know the pleasure I receive in serving you and your daughter, she quickly replied. This time she had fixed a grand feast. Several ascetics were just finishing up and saying their goodbyes to her. You have come just in time, she said to us. I have fed everyone I need to this morning, and only you remain, so you can have a leisurely meal, although Suryadev will soon chase us inside. I was hungry indeed, since we hadn't had a proper meal since the morning meal the day before. The evening meal at the hermitage had hardly filled me, and I eagerly consumed the food Soma set before me. When we finished, we went inside and took the same places we had assumed the day before. Before she began, I touched Soma's folded feet and said, Mataji, the word came out of my mouth as I sought to express my gratitude. No, no, she said gently, taking my hands into hers and looking into my eyes lovingly. To you, I am Soma and will always be. To you as well, she said to my mother. Everyone calls me Soma, for there is only one Mata. Soma, I am so happy to have met you. Meeting you has satisfied a deep longing I have felt since childhood. Soma smiled and nodded. This visit means a lot to both of us, my mother hurried to say. But we do not want to tire you. Please let us know if you do not feel like sharing your stories today. What else I am here for but to narrate these stories? When I am no longer here, who will know them? Few will then know who our Mata truly is. Her voice trailed off and she went into silence again. We waited patiently. After some time, she began to speak, her eyes gently closing. Here is the story she told us. The sages Atri and Anusuya requested Shri Ram and Mata to head south into the Dandaka forest to rid the area of violent creatures so that the forest communities could live in peace. Before seeing them off their journey, Sage Anusuya took Mata aside and said, I have nothing to offer for your journey but the fruits of my meditation. These I give to you for your strength and protection. Mata was very moved by this gift and told her she would never forget her time there. She told me later that she often felt Sage Anusuya's presence during difficult times as they traveled south. They spent years battling the Rakshasas and helping communities develop farming skills. Finally, heading further south, Mata, Shri Ram, and Shri Lakshman came to the Panchvati forest. How Mata loved this region by the Godavari river. She told me that the river became like her daughter. Whenever she sat by her side, Godavari Devi would send her gifts, beautiful flowers floating by, or medicinal plants suddenly pouring out along the banks. Godavari fed them the whole time they were there. Mata told me that in all of their journey she had never seen such an array of colorful flowers, made more striking by the special light in this area. The land was rich in fruits and abundant foods, and water was everywhere, rivers, streams, lakes. Yet, despite the outward beauty, something was amiss. Both Mata and Sri Ram felt it as soon as they arrived. Not long after they built their hut and settled in, the sages in the region spoke to them about the disturbances that were growing out of control. One day, several sages came together to welcome them and spoke about their grief. Sri Ram listened carefully as they told him that this area was of special significance to Ravana, the king of Lanka. His commanders had made the area their base and were taking many of the local resources for themselves. If anyone complained, all the villages around would suffer. Ravan's men would drain whole rivers to punish a village for resisting their rule, leaving the entire area without water. They made Panchvati the center from which they sought to infiltrate the north and thereby expand their territory. So we have moved into their base, have we? Smiled Sri Ram. We will be wary. Has he grown so powerful now that you sages all fear him? Mata asked in surprise. She remembered Ravan from her childhood in Mithila, when he had once come to her father demanding the bow of Lord Mahadev. But he was not so powerful then and had gone away humiliated. Can mantras not be used to ward him off? Mata asked. One of the sages replied, He is the only one we have ever known who has the power to counter mantras, to render them ineffective. Through his commanders, he has taken down whole forests, destroyed rivers, tortured animals, kidnapped our women, and I am very sorry to say that our mantras are for no weight, nor are any of our weapons. We have heard that he has even gained power over the Devas and has threatened to burn out the sun and to blow up the moon with his weapons. He has threatened all kinds of destruction. We all live in fear of what he could do to this earth. No, to the whole solar system and beyond. We believe he could destroy it all. We have seen evidence of his power, and we dared not test him. Sita glanced at Sri Ram in alarm, but his demeanor was as calm as ever. We are here now, Sri Ram said gently. Please do not worry. Perhaps he is the reason we have come to this place. Thank you. Jai Shri Ram.